Guys, hold up. Let me check if the stream's on. I think we're good. Wilson, you literally just said it. I'm literally trying to gather my thoughts right now because I said this after what I think it was Game 4 versus Denver, right when they came back, made it a 2-2 series. But like, bro, that was those games that you remember on a championship run. You look back a few years from now, bro. Everything that game was so like it was cinematic almost. Like the big three going off, um, the clutch ending. Like I'm so I don't even know who was who even was the best player in the game, man. Shai, Chet, J-Dub. Um, this is the second time in the series that they've just had the game of their lives. They've just like shown up at hold up at a degree I didn't even know was possible. It honestly might have been J-Dub. Six free pointers, 6 3 pointers made, and I kept talking about J-Dub, you're gonna have to start shooting some more free pointers. J-Dub, you're gonna have to get your shooting back. 6 out of 9 from free from J Dub. Um, yeah, spam. You just said it. The one shape pass to J Dub, when he's on the ground, like he somehow keeps his pivot foot down, somehow, some way. I don't even know how it was possible. I looked at the replay and like, I mean, Shay's like the most flexible human on the planet, so like I knew it was possible. But oh my god, 34 points, almost everything from the field, only 2 shots at the line. It was just a jump shooting clinic. Like J-Dub really couldn't even get to the paint today, and like every single 3 point shot that they needed, the, the Wolves start to like double Shea. The Wolves start to like tilt the entire defense to Shea, and J-Dub still hits the 3 pointer every single time. Yeah, difference. Like every single shot that J-Dub took, dude. They're one win away from the finals, bro. They're one win away from the finals. One win away. They're up 3-1 right now. Shea Shea didn't even have his most efficient performance ever, right? But that was some superstar stuff, man. That's some all time great stuff. You barely get any shots off, and then you come out here ultra aggressive. You come out here hunting your shot every single time. Yes, sometimes he had some bad possessions on switches. Sometimes he had a few bad turnovers. He ended up with 40 points, 10 assists, 9 rebounds. Hit most of his clutch free throws. I mean, down the stretch, the mid ranges, like every single thing about Shea today. Like I even if he didn't shoot above 50%, even if he didn't shoot his normal efficiency wise, like that aggression, that felt like a game that you kind of see from his like all time greats like Kobe, right? Like no matter what, you find a way to get it done. You find a way to keep pressuring the defense. Find a way to get a shot off. Like Shea's transcending every single series that he plays. He's learning new stuff. And that's the thing. Not only did you just win this game, you withstood a game where Minnesota shot insane from free. They shot 44% from free. Nickel Alexander Walker was hitting off the dribble 3 pointers. He was hitting acrobatic layups. Like I didn't even know what was happening at one point. And you still withstood all that. Um, Shea punked Anthony Edwards today. Like Shea just completely destroyed Anthony Edwards today in every regard. He scored on him a few times on switches. Um, it was kind of funny. Like I saw everyone talking about how Edwards figured out the Thunder's defense. He's gonna dominate the rest of the series. The Thunder had clearly had some adjustments left in their back pocket. I mean, they didn't even start blitzing him until now, and then you completely saw how Ant really wasn't prepared for that. Yeah, Nickel was hooping, bro. Shea's cousin was hooping, and the broadcast reminds you every single second that they're related. It's kind of funny. Thoughts on Doris Burke today? It's unprofessional. I don't really understand like why we're bringing stuff from online onto national TV, but like that's like my 100th worry right now. My 100th thing I'm thinking about. Yeah, that was one of Dort's best defensive games this playoffs in my opinion, and I've been critical of him obviously, but still the Thunder's defense can play a lot better. Like they didn't play it. I mean, this allowed 126 points, and that's the reason why during the game. But like today's story is like the big three, the Thunder's offense, like everything about that. I mean, 40, 10, and 9 is an insane stat line. We're one rebound away from talking about a 40-point triple double right now, and four of those are offensive. And we haven't even begun to talk about Chet I mean, Chet in that fourth quarter had so many timely buckets. Like the one, I don't know if it was in the fourth or like third, but like he was falling down. Somehow gets like that. Somehow like uses his wingspan to get like a little lay. Um, Obviously hit some crucial jumpers. The block, the block. Oh my god. Hold up. Let's see if I can get it. Um, Chet J- it should just be here. Chet Jaden McDaniels. Can we find a block? Yeah, that's here. I mean, this was incredible. Like McDaniel spins. This completely changes the game. Minnesota makes it a one possession game. A lot of pressure on them to score if Chet doesn't get this block here. And he's had some moments this game where he couldn't really get to the ball. He was a bit late, kind of being like that all series, but like crucial defensive plays by Chet. He had that one stance on Randall, which was overturned. I don't know how it was called a foul. Yeah, I mean they basically said today that no matter what, Julius Randle and Anthony Edwards aren't going to score. And I mean for Minnesota, it worked fine. I mean they scored pretty well, obviously, but like they shot and stand from free. Like you're completely fine with that. Um, yeah, 95 from the big free. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, almost 100 from them. I mean 95 of your 128 scored by three players. That's absurd in a closeout, not a closeout, but in like a pivotal playoff game. Yeah, this was a game where Minnesota's role players were completely comfortable. This was a game where you know they had a game of obviously in game three where a lot of their guys went off, but it was mainly Ant and Randall, right? Still at the helm of last game. This was like the role player game where they all started going off. Nikel, Dante, Nas, probably forgetting a few others. Like the fact that you withstanded this and like you completely shut down the best players. Like I'm feeling so good right now. You go back to game five Wednesday, man. Just get this series finished with, man. Why are J Dub and Chet doing so much better in the series against the Nuggets? I know people hate this like word or something, but it's some of it's experience, right? They're more prepared to play these type of coverages, and also I just think they're much better when they're not playing in zone. Zone coverage really messed the entire team up, and Minnesota can run zone. They don't have a smart enough team to run zone defense, so like obviously it's less impactful against them right now. The big three is coming together and feels like 2012. Like dude, like there was a lot of talk about the big three, man. There's a lot of talk about the big three since in the Denver series. They didn't mesh well together. They obviously Jada was struggling a lot. Shea was off for half that series. Chet was really like Chet felt non-existent. The fact that they're able to put this dominant series for the most part together is like, man, they're what 26, 24, 23, something like that. Like these are the guys that Thunder are gonna have for hopefully the next decade or so, right? So like I felt like what was it, game two? Was like the coming out party. Maybe it might have been game one or game two. I don't know which game it was. Might have been game two. It was like the coming out party for the big three on the national stage in terms of like dominating a big playoff game. Today was today will be remembered forever. Like for forever. Like they win the championship, they win it later. Like this is a pivotal moment. This was a pivotal game in Thunder history. This is a game like we're gonna be talking about for a while. Like we're gonna rewatch for a long time. Like that level of dominance for your three best players, the clutch execution. Um, they just did everything well. Yeah, Mark was great with the Hardenstein minutes today. Hardenstein only played 15 today, and I think that's perfect, right? You can see it's not exactly proportional, but Hardenstein and Chet barely shared the floor together outside like the beginning of the first half. Outside of that, they barely ever talked about the. I mean, they barely ever shared the floor, and that's all we've asked for. Hardenstein's not a bad player, but like him and Chet are just not a good fit together in this series. You can't play double big in this series. So like, I was really happy that again he was willing to bench iHeart. Chet at the five obviously dominated the game, and I'm not trying to say like this was a direct correlation, but I don't think it's a coincidence that when Chet's able to play the five, he always has these louder games where he's so much better offensively, like scoring 21 today. He just looks much more comfortable playing at this role. Since game seven of the Nugget series, J Dub has been absolutely insane. Yeah, yeah. I don't. I can check his stats for. Oops. Um. Probably Jalen Williams stats lost 5 playoff games. That's probably better. 23 and a half, 6 rebounds. Insane shooting at 51. His 3 point shot is completely back, man. Like he was on such a bad slump earlier. He was like shooting 20% from free, like the first 5, 6 games of the Nugget series. He's completely back. I mean, 48%. But it was really today. It was really today, where I mean that's probably his best shooting game of his career. Yeah, we were talking about Chet's rim protection after the last game. He was amazing today. Yeah, I talked about that for a second. Like he looked a bit late earlier in the series. He looked a bit not unathletic, but like he didn't have the same level of jump that he had. But like today, I mean, he had multiple plays where he got up there, made a huge difference. And that's the thing, like easy money sniper. You literally withstood a game where a lot went right for Minnesota outside of their stars. Like a lot of stuff went right. Like you have to give shout out to Mark. Mark made it a lot easier on Shai and J-Dub to operate in. Um, used a lot of help beaters. Used obviously having Chet at the five helped a lot. Yeah, this really does feel like the Jalen leap, man. Like he started to figure out the zone a little bit during the Nuggets series, just a little bit. Finally, game 70 finishes off. Now he's playing against man to man coverage against one of the best defenses in the league, and he does this. Like, dog, he's 24, All NBA player at 24, man. All NBA player. People need to understand that Jalen Williams is an All NBA player, and the Thunder, and he's on a rookie contract right now. That is almost unheard of. Like the only players who are All NBA players during a rookie contract are like the generational guys like Luka, Wemby, um, Zion, Ja, like those type of guys, right? Like having an All NBA player at this age is insane, or like at this point of his career. Yeah, and all defense. Yeah, all defense, all star, all NBA. Now he's having big playoff games on the road. Like what absurd, what an absurd player, what an absurd development. You know, Caruso needs to be played like that in the fourth quarter. Yeah, Caruso played a lot of minutes today, 33 minutes. And that's what they basically did. They basically switched him and Ihart's role. I mean, Caruso started the second half. Caruso closed the game. And it just made sense. You know, you play a lot faster. You get a scramble on defense. There's just so much advantages to playing like a faster defense. If Hartenstein does not shoot, yeah, Hartenstein has not been looking at the rim at all this series. Doris Burke pointed it out too. That was one of her only few good points all game about how Hartenstein like he needs to be aggressive on offense, but he did fine, but he did fine as a single big. Again, I don't think Hartenstein's unplayable in the series. It's just like him and Chet. That's an unplayable lineup. All NBA defender averaging 20 points per game at the age of 24. Like, yeah. And that's the thing. Like, J-Dub was never really like a defensive prospect. Like he was never a bad defender, but like it was mainly like he's a big ball handler. That was his main appeal. And then now he's suddenly become like one of the best defenders in the world. Like last year, J-Dub was not that great on defense, right? He wasn't bad, but like he wasn't some superstar defensive player. This year's completely been like one of five, 3 or 4 5 best wing defenders in basketball. Yeah, the Kenrich small ball minutes are great. Like, you don't want to run it for too long, but like, and nice little spurts and 3 to 4 minute spurts when Chet needs a rest or something like that. I love it as an option. They even went to J-Dub at the five at some point, but yeah, I don't think I heard was bad. Like, yeah, you said offensive rebound, like 4 offensive rebounds today. Also, we can talk about that real quick. Like the entire Thunder team, they were so good on the boards today. They won the possession battle. And the NBA kind of today, like it kind of felt like the last few years, going from 2020 to 2023, 2024, when the Celtics won the championship last year. Like a lot of the NBA was relying on just outshooting your performant opponent, right? Having a better shooting game. Now it feels like just getting more possessions than the other opponent is how you win. That's been like every single game in the playoffs. Thunder dominated offensive rebounds today. Um, Shea had some, Kaysen had some, like a lot of really good stuff there. Um, Thoughts on Joe over Wiggins. I don't think they both. Yeah, I don't think Joe played much either, but I don't hate it. I don't think giving Joe like a few minutes as a shooter is bad. I just think Wiggins hasn't been that impactful this series, so like it kind of, or like hasn't done much in his minutes, so it kind of makes sense to just like um, not really go that way. I get it. I understand it from. mark standpoint. I think Joe was pretty solid in his minutes today. Uh, Thoughts on the fan catching the ball? Yeah, no, that was funny. Yeah, Shea 4 offensive rebounds is huge. Yeah, credit him playing the five. Yeah, J Dub. Again, I talked about Dort earlier. This was one of Dort's best defensive games all year. He only shot 3 shots, which is insane. I feel like that might be like a season low considering the minutes he played. But